Welcome back, day 4 on the program. We got Mr. Hutton
Day
in
one
the
for
house.
me.
Day 1, dude, it's a hell of a program. Jake and I talked about this back and forth for about a month, talking about what we wanted to create, basically for people like us that grew up playing sports, both played football, both played college football, actually played against each other in high school way back in the day, but people that,
21
again,
years ago we decided.
crazy long ago.
That's how old we are.
But the thing I love about this week so far, and again, we can talk about this, is when you brought up like, hey, our pre and post lift. So many people come into the gym, we're here at Fitness Culture, and they just want to hit the bodybuilding lifts or their powerlifting. It's easy to come in and just throw around some weights, get a pump. It's a lot harder to come in, hit a really focused mobility session, an active warm-up, work on performance-driven training, and we wanted to do it in under 70 minutes.
Yeah. So it's basically a program that fits like everything that you would need in your toolbox into 5 days a week in under 70 minutes. So obviously you're not going to be doing a ton of speed work.
Right.
But like once a week you will run as fast as you can in a straight line. And then once a week you'll...
And my psoas today is actually feeling
and that's actually what you don't want, you know?
Yeah.
Because you haven't done it in so long. And so that's basically, that was our thought, you know? Like people say that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sore. And all you did was like run as fast as you could.
All I did was
And that's
5 get-offs.
happening to us too. So like adding that in every week will make it so that doesn't happen and you're prepared to do whatever. So today's gonna be a lateral movement, change direction day. And we're not gonna do much. It's gonna be, we'll do an active warm up, do a set of lateral plyos, and then a couple different just change direction drills. And then that's it, just move into the lift.
We have a variety of training so that when we go out and hey, we're wanting to open it up and do a full sprint, or I need to have a dynamic golf swing, make a dynamic movement with that, my core, everything else is, I'm able to get into positions. And I can tell you right now, like it sounds so mind-blowing to say that I'm 40, because when I go out and like play golf and stuff, I'm playing against 20-year-olds and I'm out driving them, it's because I've continuously trained for 20 years and am able to do this. And even we saw it earlier this week when we were doing those get-offs, the young guys in the gym couldn't hang. And honestly, so like
They're probably not doing this stuff either.
Yeah, exactly. So it is like, it's one of those things, you if you don't use it, you lose it. Every one of these workouts this week, we've had a downloadable piece of content. Today, you get the full week's workout, so make sure you check that out. We're actually gonna throw in a supplement guide in today's as well. So if you are to a point where you've been training a little bit, you want to see the most out of your training, we'll throw in our supplement guide that we're giving all of the people on the challenge. You guys can sign up for that. Make sure you check out the link in the bio. This program is one you can do for the 8-week challenge, or you can pick any of our programs. But I really want to challenge people out there. If you've been an athlete, or if being performance driven is of interest to you, give this one a go. We're going to jump into it. You look at a man of Jake's size, 240 pounds. Yes, he's got good genetics, big barrel chest. You might look at him and see that he resembles a vanilla gorilla. What you don't understand is how well this man moves for 240 pounds. Not a lot of people move like Jacob Hutton at 240 pounds. So pretty important that he is a person who practices what he preaches.
All right, so we just did an active warm up. Now we're gonna move into just a little bit of our change of direction and lateral plyos. And again, it's not gonna be a lot. So we're gonna do 3 to 4 sets of just 6 jumps, a lateral jump. And today we're gonna be focusing on not just rebounding and being super dynamic back and forth. We're gonna explode, come to balance, and then explode back. So we'll come out, jump as far as you can, come to balance. The goal is to not double hop, right? You wanna be able to, we used to call them like ninja landings, right? You don't wanna hear yourself land, because you absorb the pressure, sink into it, then come back, sink into it. Obviously, you're gonna wobble a little bit, you might do some steps, but training yourself not to do that is just good for your balance and just proprioception. So we're gonna do 3 sets of that, and then we're gonna move into some change of direction stuff.
And the thing I'll challenge you guys to do on this is, when you come into the gym, we're so many of us, accustomed to just coming in, hitting a few warm-up sets, jumping into just the lifting the weights. This is the kind of movement that is really going to pay off throughout life. When you're on a ski hill, you slip and you catch yourself. It's balance, It's proprioception. It's all of these things that you're able to recruit muscle fibers quickly when you need them. A lot of times just the lifting the weight, 3 sets of 8 on a bench press, or even squats, we're not moving laterally. This is life. This is really going to translate into some of these athletic things that we want to do outside the gym.
Another thing that I thought about when I was writing this is people are afraid to do this kind of stuff in the gym. Just don't care what people think about you, man. Who gives a shit? People ask me all the time, why are you training like that? Like, what are you training for? I'm like, I don't know, it's just fun to train this way. And I'm training because I don't want to not be able to do this. So
it's true.
I get that a lot.
Do you get that?
Well, you probably don't get it.
Well, no, I mean, you do to a certain level because, hey, if you're gonna go to the NBA and watch them warm up and what they're doing in the off season, especially, they're doing so much of stability work, or if you look at guys in the NFL, they're not just, a lot of them don't touch weights in the way we think. They're not sitting here repping until failure all the time. A lot of them are gonna be, like Tom Brady kind of really made this popular, but I remember watching Julius Peppers really working on, again, stability, being able to react to things on one leg, because life doesn't happen in this perfectly balanced position.
Okay, next thing we're just gonna do a simple shuffle and settle. So on this one, really, it's just about controlling your body. On the shuffle, we're just focusing on not letting our feet get too close together, because that's when you'll get crossed up, like if you're playing basketball. So nice wide stance the entire time. Come to balance, and then we'll just come back to the other side. So super basic, but this is just week 1 of the program. As the weeks progress, then we start getting more advanced.
What's actually silly is when coach says, you know, growing up, get into an athletic stance, you see a lot of bad athletic stances out there. So
right
again,
here.
Yeah, people are all over the place when you say athletic stance. We're gonna have to go over feet, shoulder width apart slightly, even slightly more, a little bit more on the balls of your toe. You're gonna feel like, you know, you could go in any direction essentially when we start. So nice and wide.
Okay, last one for a change direction. We're just gonna do a side run now and then stick and hold. So again, this is just about body control. It's the biggest thing here. A lot of people, when they're coming into a line, get past the line and they have to transition back with their body weight to get out of the line. So this one's just about basically controlling your body position. So when we run, we wanna start setting up to get away from the line and then kind of evaluate where your body is. So notice I'm here, so I can push and come across and then set back up on the way back. So really the goal here is settle, make sure you're ready to transition to the other line.
Honestly, that right there, a little bit of work, maximal output in terms of we're being super detailed about what we want. So when you put that kind of effort in, it's not just going through the motion. That's kind of what this demands out of you. If you just go through the motions and do this, you're not gonna get the most out of it. But if you're exploding, focusing on change of direction, you're gonna feel it. All of these stabilizing muscles. Next up, we got our core tricep. We got farmer carry. So everything's gonna be unbalanced. So we start talking about proprioception. We start talking about being able to essentially move and stabilize one side with an overload. Farmer carry, suitcase carry, and then Turkish get-ups. I follow, like obviously we created it for guys like us that like training, have a good base, that we want to stay athletic, stay ready for things. And I feel like this is the best way to make sure that no matter what life throws at you, especially at 40 years old, I'm performing at a level of like a 20-year-old, especially a 20-year-old, 25-year-old that isn't a college athlete. I guarantee you we outperform 20, 25-year-olds because of the training like this. So you got to ask yourself, what am I training for? What do you want to be better at? Yeah, looks looks are one of those things when you solely focus on looks, and I know this because of my years bodybuilding. When you solely focus on looks and you're like, oh, I gotta stay lean and this and that, it becomes almost a little mind at the end of the day, because it's a lot easier to actually focus on performance, let looks take care of themselves. And I said this a long time ago and got some heat for it. There's a lot of CrossFitters out there that had really phenomenal physiques. Neil Maddox is one that jumped out to my mind. People that perform every single day, stay lean, they're strong. That's what this kind of program essentially does, but it keeps you a lot healthier. So we're not gonna be doing some movements that are compromised, the handstand push-ups, kipping stuff. Like we wanna be here for a long time, not just a good time.
All right, so the conditioning that we have today is called interval weight training. So typically when we were in CrossFit, we would do these a lot. And we'd typically do like an explosive movement with the cardio movement, and then more of like a powerlifting movement with the cardio movement. The intervals are longer. Today, it's still gonna be an explosive movement, so we would do an Olympic lift normally, but today we're gonna be doing an American kettlebell swing, but the mechanics are similar, right? Because you're gonna come back, you're gonna explode the hips and then pop under it. The difference is we are gonna be going pretty high rep today, so it's gonna be 20 reps here. We're gonna hop on the rower, and we're gonna go 2 minutes, max meters, right? That's what we're putting down, max meters. So what you would wanna do is total up your max meters for all 3 rounds. So the goal is not just actually kill yourself on that first round. Like our goal is always to get 600 meters for like games athlete males. I'm probably not gonna hit that today, but try to hit like around 600. But either way, first one, let's say you get like 550, the next one you wanna get 570, the next one you'd wanna get higher. The goal is to perform a little bit better every time, so you're not completely gassed out, because we're only doing a 2-minute break. Even though it's pretty long, it's not long enough to recover all the way between these intervals. So it's a really long interval. It's 20 reps of American kettlebell swings, 2 minutes of row, and then it's gonna be a 2-minute break. We got 3 rounds of that.
And I'll add in, if you are looking to only increase your output, like build a bigger engine, looking to train for something that involves a little bit of cardio, like a high rocks, this is actually a lot of the things that we would incorporate just if I was only doing high rocks with some running. Because again, what we're doing is we're working out under duress, meaning like we have muscular endurance that we're hitting, and then we're going into more of a full cardio movement with a row that is gonna be, obviously it's resisted with the rowing, but what we're doing is we're able to get to a position where we're not redlining. What we don't want you to do here is go all out and then not be able to finish this. That would be a fail. What we want you to be able to do is pace yourself, control your breathing, and work under duress. Definitely our hardest conditioning segment of the week so far, and it should be. It's Thursday, you know, you got the weekend coming up here. Gonna hit another good workout tomorrow, optional workout Saturday. So it's our big metabolic conditioning segment for the week here. 5 minutes before we jump into our next segment of this IWT, which is goblet squats and 400-meter run. my fitness philosophy, you know, when I was 15, just get as big and strong as possible. Eat as much as I wanted to, get as big and strong. Football, I didn't care about mobility. I didn't care about anything else, but I was strong, somewhat fast, bigger, faster, stronger. Then came the bodybuilding, the bodybuilding era, where all I really cared about was aesthetics. Got big, got super lean, learned how to diet, learned how to use food as a tool to get where I wanted to go. Now, it was important for me because that's what taught me the importance of nutrition, and really got a little bit away from performance, but needed to go through that. Then came the Biggest Loser trainer days, and I saw how consistency trumped everything else. It trumped intensity, because people can be intense for 75 days. But guess what? The year's 365 days. 365 times 10 years, 20 years. If you're only consistent for 75 days or for the first 2 weeks of the year, you're not to be successful. So what we've done is set up programs for you, workouts like this especially, where now what do I want? I want consistency, or I want longevity. I want to be able to come into the gym every single day feeling like, hey, I gave my best yesterday, I feel pretty good today, and I know I'm working towards not some goal that it's going to be this end date. This is the journey that I'm enjoying for life.
All right, the last thing we got today, 20 supine pull-ups, 20 push-ups, 20 V-ups, and we're just gonna go 3 rounds for time.
So this I really do like bodyweight stuff, because when we had COVID and we were only doing bodyweight workouts, it was amazing actually. It was what my body needed to actually full range of motion. And then talk about muscular endurance. If we're doing 20 reps here on everything, you're gonna start feeling not just cardiovascular, but some muscular endurance will start coming into play, especially on these inverted rows. You can do 20 unbroken inverted rows.
This is gonna be all muscular endurance.
Oh, it's gonna break me.
It's basically just the V-ups are just for a break.
Yeah, they are.
In between the pump.
Yeah, this is gonna blow me up. Nice, nice. You guys notice Jake setting his feet at 90 degrees, back's nice and straight. If you want to make it super hard, which I don't recommend doing this, you'd go straight legs. We don't want to do that because we got 20 reps here. Now let's be honest, is there anything better than finishing with a chest back pump? And actually I take it back, I think the hardest thing will be these V-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice after today's workout on Thursdays, you're gonna have a little bit of cotton mouth. You should feel that heart rate being the highest it has been all week. But these are the workouts that kind of like it's a gut check-in. Thursday, it's an easy day to be like, I got Friday. You start tailing off. Come in here, get your work done. You're gonna feel great. You know, you might not feel great this first week. It might hurt a little bit. Week 3, week 4, you start noticing cardiovascular system starts catching up. But here's the thing.
And it just hurts more.
It's true, because you push harder. It doesn't get easier. But here's the thing. You'll start noticing that it gets a little bit easier outside the gym. When you start putting this kind of work in the gym, you start going and doing those activities outside the gym, you're like, oh shit, I'm not sore the next day. Oh, I'm not, out of breath running up this flight of stairs or doing whatever it is, chasing my kid in the backyard. So we're thinking of these programs, these workouts, not just from an aesthetic lens think of it from a 360 wellness approach. So have fun with them. Enjoy this journey because this, again, doesn't get easier, but you get better. See you tomorrow.